This is what the Funimation theme sounds like.
Step into the grand tour. Step into the grand tour. Dragon Ball GT.
Last time on the Dragon Ball Look Back, Chadwick Jones took a look at the final arc in Dragon Ball Z. Today he is doing the most obvious next step and talking about the sequel series, Dragon Ball GT. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Back in the mid-90s, when Dragon Ball Z was fast approaching its end, two numbskulls at Toei Animation came up with an idea.
Hey Joe, what's that one thing that's making us the money? What's it doing?
I think it's running out of manga, boss. There ain't gonna be any more money soon.
No, money? No, we can't live on fabulous merchandising rights alone. We need to do something.
What are we gonna do, boss? Are we gonna make another Dragon Ball show ourselves?
What? No, that's stupid. No. What we gotta do is we gotta make another Dragon Ball show ourselves. Great idea, boss. And this one will be bigger and betterer than anything that Mr. Poopy had a cure what's-his-face made. Scene 1. Goku becomes a child again.
And so the masterpiece that is Dragon Ball GT was born. Oh, but it gets better. Later on in 2003, the offices of Funimation Studios were also having a problem.
Excuse me, sir. There seems to be a problem with a popular show we have running on Cartoon Network.
What is it this time? Are those damn writers on strike again?
No, sir. It's a problem with this latest import we have, Dragon Ball GT. Everyone hates it, sir.
Why, did it fail with test audiences or something? We can always redo the dub if that's a problem.
No, I mean, everyone in Japan hates it, sir. To be frank, the show sucks.
Oh, I see how it is. First those damn Japanese people run us out of business with their unique style and integrity. And now they're trying to monopolize the bad cartoon business too.
Bad cartoon business?
Americans have been making bad cartoons since my grandpappy was a boy. It's the last remaining animation market these days. Well, I won't stand for it. They think they can make a bad anime? Well, I'll show them. I'll make it twice as bad. Who do we got making the music?
Bruce Faulkner.
What does he know? Let's have all the music produced by my 10-year-old nephew on his drum set. Much better. Now I want you to give all the voice actors a steady dose of painkillers, and I want you to do something really despicable. I don't care what it is. Just make sure it's foul.
And that is the true, non-exaggerated story of Dragon Ball GT. Although at least its name actually means something, Grand Tour. Sure, it's pretentious and stupid, but at least they didn't just call it that because it sounded cool. We open up several years after the conclusion of DBZ, where Goku and Oob are training inside of Kami's lookout. We then get introduced to what I actually consider to be a clever plot point, an elderly Emperor Pilaf and his crew scaling the side of the lookout in search of a special item. GT was supposed to be the true conclusion of the franchise, so I enjoy the attempt at bridging the beginning and end by reintroducing the first villain. They are up there in search of the Black Star Dragon Balls, much more powerful versions of the Dragon Balls that were created by Bob before he split into Kami and Piccolo that time. These balls grant a much more powerful wish, so Pilaf hopes to use them to finally achieve his dream of becoming the ruler of the world. So now that they have the balls, Pilaf takes them away to a secure location where they won't be interrupted by the inhabitants of the lookout. Or not. Ultimate Shenron demands to hear Pilaf's wish, but the process is, shock, interrupted by a bewildered Goku.
Yeah, I remember you now. You're Emperor Pilaf, right?
Also, the sky is dark and there's a big, scary red dragon hanging there. Although it is kind of in Goku's character to be oblivious to things like that, so... pass. Of course, by this point, Pilaf hasn't the slightest chance of beating him. In fact, it's debatable if he ever had a chance at all. Suddenly, destiny happens.
I wish you were a little kid again, then I could really teach you a lesson or two.
Oh, that's great. What, did Kid Goku's voice actress really need the work? Because this is the main distinction of GT. Goku has been turned back into a child again, and he is now weaker because of it. Once again, I like the idea that they're trying to pay homage to the rest of the series as a whole, but turning the main character back into a kid is taking it a little too far. This first saga, called the Black Star Dragon Ball Saga, is slightly more comedic in tone to best reflect the fun style of Dragon Ball. But sadly, the animation is too dark and the original characters are neither charming nor funny, so it really doesn't work. Because the Black Star balls are so powerful, the only way for Goku to return to his adult form will be for him to make another wish on them. The matter is complicated further by the fact that these balls are scattered around the entire universe when a wish is made, making the trip not quite so worth it. So Goku decides to finally return to his family, as we see that a lot has changed since the end of Dragon Ball Z. For one thing, some sort of strange disease has spread over the land, giving everyone freakishly large heads and chronic 90s syndrome. This unknown disease also has strange reactions with certain people, such as removing any shame Master Roshi might have once felt about his perversions, and giving him some horrible skin disease. Probably the saddest case is Videl, who is left traumatized to the point where she seems to have no character whatsoever anymore.
Now, why don't you call your friends and go play outside? That's right, Pan. Thanks, but not right now, honey.
She just does that every day. No passion, no original thought. She just follows people around like a zombie and only speaks when spoken to. Truly depressing. Luckily, what character was drained off of her seems to have been transmitted into her own daughter, Pan, who by now has become a kick-ass vigilante just like her parents. But she also wants to do more with her life.
I'll show everyone once and for all that I'm no kid!
We see all the other characters are well. Oh my god, Vegeta has a mustache! Call the National Guard! Send in the strike drones! Vegeta grew a bit of hair on his upper lip! Seriously, with all the problems of GT, why do fans hate that the most? Goten is obsessed with women, Trunks has become the new CEO of Capsule Corp, because they totally hinted that at the end of Z. Mr. Satan is now balding, which is incredibly funny, and Dr. and Mrs. Briefs are apparently dead, as we never see or hear about them in the entire series. Then King Kai comes back to us with a little more exposition. Apparently, the Black Star Dragon Balls are so powerful that they infest the Earth with negative energy whenever they are used. So much so that the planet will actually explode from this if the balls are not returned in 1 year's time. What the hell was Bob thinking when he made them all those years ago? Sure, Kami did mention that he had memory problems when it came to his childhood, but he clearly remembers everything leading up to his separation from Piccolo. Why didn't he, at that point, destroy the balls to prevent the incredibly likely situation that they will be activated and destroy the planet? You know what?
Why Kame is useless!
From beyond the grave! So now Bulma, Gohan, and Mother Zombie are hard at work constructing the Grand Tour spaceship that'll take our heroes across the stars in search of the balls. The only thing left is the crew.
Son, there's the easy way and then there's the fun way.
So later that day, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Goku are all getting ready to blast off on the journey. Trunks and Goku climb on aboard and make a rather shocking discovery. Then Pan proceeds to hit the launch button, luckily not frying her loved ones in the process, and the slightly altered Grand Tour crew heads into space to begin the hunt. They proceed immediately to crash land on a nearby desert planet. So I'm thinking about 4 hours until they die. Any challengers? Well, the planet isn't completely deserted. This is planet Emeka, an Arabian-style planet led by the notorious Don Key. A ruthless and greedy individual who has raised the taxes so high that most people are either homeless or weak-willed servants of the leader.
Well, so much for democracy.
You live under a monarchy! King Furry, remember? So they eventually come across an old junkyard to try and find parts for the ship, when they accidentally drop the dragon radar and this little guy immediately eats it. But before you can say, where did the plot go? The Grand Tour ship is towed off by the corrupt king's forces. That's when Goku tries his instant transmission to catch up, and he finds that something is wrong.
I don't understand. I'm doing it the same as I always have.
Yes, that may be so, but your body's different, remember? You've never done instant transmission as a child before. It might not work.
Oh yeah, of course Goku, the expert tactician and master of all conceivable martial arts, couldn't possibly adapt and compensate for his new body throughout the entire reign of this show. It just makes perfect sense. Blah, 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 they get the ship back and free the people in the process. Boring! It turns out that the robot that ate the radar has actually integrated it into his system, and has henceforth made himself a permanent member of the team.
What's your name? Or do you even have a name?
Hero. My name is T2006.
You got a name?
My serial number is B54296.
Oops. I'll just call you Clank for short.
Hero.
Hey, why don't we call him Giru?
Giants! On the planet with the next ball, they find a village of people being terrorized by a giant catfish monster called Tsunama, who uses his whiskers to cause earthquakes. One of the villagers is in possession of the ball and offers to give it to them if they defeat the monster. It's going to take time to beat Tsunama. Time, effort, and most importantly, a makeover!
You came into my life, and my world never looked so bright. Yeah, it's true. You bring out the best in me when you are around. When you are around, all things just keep getting better.
They eventually defeat him, and he promises to behave himself from now on. Just as our heroes are preparing to leave with the second ball, something weird happens.
Thanks for the Dragon Ball, suckers!
So one of the Dragon Balls is stolen by a group of walking suppositories. What's weird about that? This team is known as the Para Brothers, a group of specialists working for the Lord Lude cult, which I will get into in a minute. Since the brothers still need to steal the ball that our heroes have on their ship, they are led inside of an asteroid where the brothers unleash their special attack.
Bone Para! Bone
Shake! Don't forget to smile! Don't forget to smile! What? Now shake it, right! Your turn!
What's happening to me?
You okay?
What the?
Guys. Wait, I can't stop.
My arms!
What's up with the lack of enthusiasm? You're gonna like this.
I think this is the moment everyone agreed GT sucked. Thank you. So after the brothers are secured, Pan goes on board their ship to look for where the Dragon Ball was taken. Instead, she accidentally starts the automated flight pattern and the ship immediately heads for the Para's home planet, Lude. This hellhole is the home of the Lord Lude cult, a sect of people who wear silly-looking masks and worship a giant robot, even kidnapping people from around the universe to sacrifice to it.
We have come across some irregulars from Sector 7G and have them in custody.
Now here's the weird part. People are sacrificed to this thing by the group's frontman, Cardinal Moochie, using his whip to turn these people into dolls that are then thrown into a cooking pot that transfers their life energy to the robot. Creative? Trunks and Goku head after Pan, but she has already arrived on the planet and decided to go exploring. She naturally decides to pick a fight with Cardinal Moochie Moochie and ultimately fails and ends up getting turned into a doll herself.
What's wrong with me? I can't move my arms or legs. I'm frozen still.
Luckily, Pan narrowly avoids getting thrown into the pot when Trunks and Goku finally arrive and take on the Cardinal themselves. Although, honestly, considering what is about to happen to her, she might have been better off going straight into the pot. After Cardinal Moochie Moochie turns the Para Para brothers into dolls, Goku and Trunks fight and ultimately defeat him. Then his whip turns into a person, which is known simply as Moochie. Meanwhile, oh no.
It would be such a terrible waste to just throw you into lewd like the others, especially since I have so much planned for us.
Oh, please God, no.
Okay, let's try it on.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that.
No, he knows she's alive too. No!
Oh my god! This is too much. Please show me something a little more wholesome.
Much better. This complete and utter monster is called Daltaki, but I'm going to refer to him as Pan's molester just to emphasize that fact. Pan's molester is the main leader behind the Lord Lewd cult and servant of a man called Dr. Mew.
It couldn't be that you have failed me again, could it, Daltaki?
What?
The legend of the Eternal Dragon turns out to be
I think we have connection problems. I can hardly understand what you're saying.
I would like to have both Dragon Balls sent to me right away.
What? Dr. Mew is the creator of Lord Lewd, which is really a machine mutant that needs a whole lot of power before it can be activated and used to conquer the universe. Seeing that Moochie is losing the battle against our heroes, Pan's molester forcibly sacrifices the entire order to Lewd's resurrection. You know what? Fuck it. This story goes nowhere and Pan's molester doesn't even get badly punished in the end. This is the closest we get. Moving on to the next ball. Worms! And amazing tornado animations. So during their journey, everyone passes by a planet that turns out to be Giru's home planet. Pan convinces the others to land there, and we see that the planet is covered almost entirely in metal. Plus, there are a bunch of abandoned buildings and Giru bots nearby. We also find that something is very wrong here.
You deserve great praise for your achievement, T-2006. General Wildo will be extremely pleased.
Our heroes are then suddenly attacked by an elite team of fighting robots called the Sigma Force, which I must admit have some pretty interesting powers.
Man, get out of here!
Eventually, they end up capturing Goku and Trunks, and we see that Giru has been deceiving our heroes all along. The Sigma Force decides that Pan isn't a threat, and they head back to base, leaving Pan disheartened. And here's where I should mention something. Remember when that Funimation executive said this?
And I want you to do something really despicable. I don't care what it is, just make sure it's foul.
Well, they did. We just covered episodes 1 through 16, which is the entire span of the Black Star Dragon Ball saga. When it came time to release this in the US, Funimation was worried that the shift in tone from DBZ would be jarring to the viewers. No shit. So they decided to make it even more jarring by condensing the entire saga into one episode that quickly went over everything that happened. Imagine this look back, but instead of being made by a guy for summary and analysis purposes, it was made by an actual company and distributed on TV as a substitute. This resulted in immediate panning by critics as this move ruined any sense of pacing the show had to begin with, and left out several plot details and character exposition that some people might like to know. Eventually, the 16 episodes were dubbed and released on TV as The Lost Episodes. Which is pretty bullshit too. The episodes weren't lost. You threw them in the dumpster. You knew exactly where they were. Our heroes are taken back to the robot base where they receive full body scans to determine their power, and Guru divulges everything he knows about their fighting techniques via video footage he stored. Eventually, Goku and Trunks make their escape and create such a problem to the Sigma Force that they are forced to call in their top fighter, General Rildo, to put a stop to them. He freezes Trunks and Carbonite and transfers them away to a robot base where he is then sent to the robot's leader, who is also Dr. Mew. Then Goku fights him and does pretty well until Rildo reveals he can control metal. No, Magneto controls magnetism. General Rildo is actually able to bend and shift all the metal on the planet as if it were an extension of his body. Rildo eventually overwhelms Goku, turning him into Carbonite as well. Pan tries to save her friends, but she falls victim to the scheme as well and is transported to Dr. Mew's base. Then, things get stupid.
Ah, T-2006!
Which is the main outfit?
Stop him? Stop him before he does that thing he is clearly trying to do? Nope. Okay. And now, everyone just sits there with their jaws open while these guys rattle off exposition to each other. It goes like this. Giru was sent by Dr. Mew to trick our heroes into getting captured and drained of their energy. However, Giru lost his memory when he crashed on a mecha and only regained it much later when he had already become friends with everyone. When he passed by his home planet, he remembered everything, and Trunks helped him to come up with this plan, which they decided not to tell Goku and Pan about because... The plan is this. Trunks would allow himself and Goku to get captured, and Giru would play along, even giving extra info on them so that he gains Dr. Mew's trust. Trunks would then escape their clutches and allow himself to get frozen. While General Rildo is distracted by Goku, Giru would go up to Dr. Mew's lab, unfreeze Trunks, and replace him with a replica so that Trunks can explore the lab unnoticed. Then Goku and Pan would inevitably become frozen and transported themselves, allowing Giru to head out there and free them, allowing our heroes to strike this problem at the source and stop whatever Dr. Mew is planning. Wow! Just wow! I've seen YouTube flame wars less convoluted than this. Well, what if they suspected something? Well, what if General Rildo got a little carried away and murdered Goku? What if Dr. Mew stopped Giru when he had the chance just now? It's utterly inconceivable how they would even think such a plan could ever work. Trunks leads everyone over to something interesting he found in Dr. Mew's lab. It is apparently the ultimate machine mutant. Once it is finished developing, it will allow the Doctor to turn everyone in the universe into machine mutant oogly woogly pants. He made this mutant out of the most evil energy on Earth, 90s. This creature is so full of 90s that it was actually born with a mohawk, Oakleys, and an attitude. What's the name of this horrible creature? Baby! Due to Trunks' meddling, Baby is accidentally awakened much earlier than intended. So our heroes get together and blast it into oblivion, allowing Dr. Mew to escape since he's no threat anymore. No threat at all. Not even a little. Oh, god damn it!
You are nothing but a simple machine mutant, for it was I who programmed you to gather the energy needed for my resurrection.
Sure. Since our heroes definitely defeated Baby, no problem at all, they continue their search for the balls, this time coming across a stranded ship that is about to crash into a nearby star. When they climb on board, however, they find that the ship seems to have been torn apart from the inside. Some sort of creature appears to have devoured the entire crew and, by all appearances, is still at large. Luckily, they find the ball by the sole survivor of the ship. Well, I'm sure this isn't suspicious at all. Seriously, this is the setup to about half of the Alien movies. They take this kid to the nearest space hospital they can find, and it looks like he should make a full recovery. Whoa! Were those space ducks? Were those actual space ducks? Of course, the boy turns out to be Baby, who has gathered a ton of energy from the people on board that ship, and is now hoping to possess the bodies of one of the Grand Tour crew members. He eventually shifts targets to this doctor guy, who proceeds to lead Trunks into a room alone. We then get a reveal that I can actually believe.
You shouldn't have picked a doctor to hide in. I'm naturally on guard against them as it is.
Apparently, Baby had been successfully hiding his power level up until the moment he switched to the doctor, where he was visible for just a split second. From then on, our heroes knew he was on the planet and that he would strike soon, so they purposely let themselves get into seemingly vulnerable situations in order to lure Baby out from hiding and deal with him once and for all this time. See? Was that so hard? These characters are really smart, and if you know how to write them well, Then Trunks immediately gets possessed anyway. Using all his might, Trunks barely manages to expel the still incomplete Baby and bring him out in the open, where he immediately escapes again. This time onto a spaceship. Yeah, you guys are boned. So now our heroes proceed to collect the rest of the Dragon Balls in relative peace, blissfully unaware of what has already arrived on Earth.
Name the place and I'll be there.
Oh, good. Everybody can calm down. Shh. It's okay. Vegeta's lip is nice and clean again. The nightmare's over. It's alright. It's alright. Goten is going out on a date at this time when he suddenly notices something isn't quite right at the moment.
Maybe it's a festival.
Boom! Like happy festival fireworks, yeah?
When he goes to check it out, he finds that Mr. Satan is fighting off a group of incredibly strong and crazy looking individuals. Oh God, it's the Garlic Jr. saga again! Quick, get DBZ Kai to help us get rid of it! After a brief fight, Baby shows his true colors and proceeds to invade Goten's body, later using him to jump over the Gohan. He would have infected Videl too, but she already seemed to be the victim of a mind-controlling parasite.
I'll be waiting.
But now that he is in control of Gohan, Baby decides to seek out the strongest being on the planet, Vegeta. Okay, I don't want to offend any Vegeta fans out there, but there's no way he's stronger than Gohan. I mean, sure, he has been training, and Baby's also probably after him for revenge. You know what I mean.
Hey, hot stuff, looking good.
Thanks, it's a new outfit.
How about you and your outfit dump that geezer and ride with us? What was that? What's your problem?
So after Baby Gohan attacks him and Bula, Vegeta immediately figures out that this is not Gohan and, in fact, he is not even really a machine mutant.
Finally, one of the toughest returns. You almost had me concerned.
Sit back, folks. This'll take a while to explain. According to King Kai back in the Saiyan arc, planet Vegeta was once filled with two sentient races. There were the Tuffles, incredibly intelligent beings not too different from humans, and the Saiyans, who were a barbaric and powerful warrior race. Eventually, the Saiyans became jealous of the wealth and prosperity of the Tuffles and decided to invade. The Tuffles were able to keep the Saiyans at bay with advanced technology and sheer numbers, but the Saiyans eventually wiped them off the planet when the full moon came out and transformed them all into nigh unstoppable great apes. The Saiyans were then fueled by their own need to conquest and developed an advanced society of their own in order to achieve this. This is what King Kai said, but he is sometimes wrong about things and usually speaks from secondhand knowledge. Then there is the story Baby tells. The Tuffles were a peaceful and calm society living on the beautiful planet Plant before the Saiyans invaded from space and took over. Led by King Vegeta, the Saiyans were ruthless beings that showed no mercy and took no prisoners. The king even had the audacity to rename the planet after himself, calling it Planet Vegeta. In a final desperate attempt to save their people, a group of Tuffle scientists used their own DNA to create the perfect biological parasite, one that could eventually defeat the Saiyans and recreate the Tuffle race. It was Baby himself that designed the machine mutants and Dr. Mew so that they might gather energy and other resources for him and allow him to finally have his revenge on the Saiyans. This opens up so many plot holes and lore questions. I mean, if the Saiyans aren't from Planet Vegeta, then where the hell are they from? Where is this place? Is it still there? Are there still Saiyans on it? And also, this makes it even less likely that Frieza would have almost completely annihilated them all when he destroyed planet Vegeta. What, was there some sort of Saiyan convention going on? This is a spacefaring race. There should be multitudes of them across several different planets. What the hell? So Vegeta is just barely able to keep Baby at bay until Goten arrives.
That's how it's gonna be.
Yes, apparently if Baby ever lays his seed in someone, and it hatches, then that person becomes an honorary Tuffle and loyal servant of Baby. And Baby has been splashing his seed everywhere. Ew! With their combined strength, Baby, Goten, and Gohan are easily able to overwhelm Vegeta, and Baby transfers himself inside of him when he sees an opening, transforming Vegeta's body into what I call his Super 90s form. For now, there is nobody left to stop Baby from achieving his sinister plans. A while later, our heroes have finally finished collecting all of the Black Star Dragon Balls and dropped them off with Dende for safekeeping.
The Black Star Dragon Balls. I bet Baby will be happy to hear about this little development.
When Goku and Pan go back home, they discover that something is wrong.
Shut up! There isn't enough food here for either of you Saiyans.
Oh dear, it looks like Chi-Chi has been possessed by some sort of monster. And it also looks like Videl hasn't properly washed the dishes. Oh no! It doesn't take long for Baby to come out of hiding and overwhelm our heroes. By this point, everyone on the planet is now under Baby's control. Everyone except Majin Buu and Mr. Satan, who was hiding inside of him. Even Trunks falls victim when Baby reveals that he also hid a seed inside of him. So now Pan is being secured by Majin Buu, and Goku is the only one left who can defeat Baby. That's when Baby commands his servants to give all their negative energy to him in order to form the silliest named attack I can think of.
Revenge Death Ball! I will not give up!
Free to do what he pleases now, Baby uses the Black Star Balls to wish for a new planet plant to be created in the sky. Ultimate Shenron grants the wish, and now Baby's plan has finally come to fruition. He's going to retire to the planet and open up his own burger bar. Meanwhile, Goku wakes up to find himself in... okay, what the hell?
Right now!
The answer is you! Answer a riddle correctly to proceed.
Now hold still!
This is Penguin Village. Subaroku Space. A dimension of chance where a being called Segoro plays you in a big convoluted dice game, but he is actually a shape-shifting space lemur and his son is the Dai, and Goku is here because Kobito Kai tried to save him, but he messed up and dropped him here instead, and Goku breaks it and escapes with Segoro and his son. Am I losing my mind? As the next part of his plan, Baby uses one of Bulma's planetary evacuation ships to send a large quantity of the new Tuffles over to the planet he created. Boo and the others manage to stow on board, along with another special man, Oob. Come on, Oob, you are our last hope to defeat... never mind. Back on the Kai planet, Goku is working a giant coffee grinder, which is somehow helping him grow back his tail. Guys, if you're not going to try, then why should I care? I mean, they never even attempt to explain how this works. It just does. And old Kai knows about it somehow. The situation on planet Tuffle is getting serious though, so Goku opts that they go for the quick and painful route by having the Kais pull his tail out with a giant pair of pliers. Meanwhile, Majin Buu has come to a decision.
Time now for Boo and Oob to be one again!
And thus, Boo sacrifices his own life, merging with Oob so their combined power would be enough to destroy Baby. This is Majoob, and he is going to kick some... Thanks, Boo. Your sacrifice was appreciated. So now Goku has his tail back and he goes down to planet Tuffle to show Baby who his daddy is, and immediately gets defeated. Huh. Well, I guess that's GT. It kind of ended on a downer, but at least it was... Wait, what? with his new tail attached, and then used it like a moon to turn into some sort of golden great ape? When did this show become awesome? In this form, Goku is completely out of control, just like when he was a kid. Baby is powerless to stop his rampage as he starts to wreck the planet.
Yep, that's what I was worried about happening if he didn't train properly.
Once again, how is working a coffee grinder supposed to help him gain control of the golden great ape form? Eventually, Goku sees the Earth in the sky. He scales a tall mountain and looks longingly at his home, desperate to return to her. Pan comes over and talks to him. She tries her best to remind him of who he is, of what he is fighting for. As Goku's mind returns to him, he begins to change. His power level increases dramatically as he shrinks back into an adult form. This is a Super Saiyan 4. Seriously, when did this become so awesome? God, I love the design of this guy, the glow, the color. Everything is just so unique and cool. Fuck Super Saiyan 3, this is where it's at. Meanwhile, Baby Bulma has discovered something.
I've solved your gorilla problem.
Using a device that harnesses Blutz waves from the Earth, Bulma is able to concentrate and beam them directly into Baby's body, transforming him into a golden ape as well. Oh god, just look at him. The 90s stuff makes him look like Lunatic. In fact, he looked exactly like Lunatic. Did they seriously pull design inspiration from a shitty comic book like Lunatic? Goku tries his best to stop the rampaging monster from destroying his own planet, but he is unable to subdue him alone. He makes the quick decision to use his instant transmission and beam Baby away to some planet where he can't hurt anyone. When this happens. This better be good.
How is it that you spoke to me just now?
Please, use what little brain you have. Vegeta transformed into the gorilla. I did not. I am the parasite. I control him.
So, if you're the puppet master, then why did the gorilla go on a rampage and kill your Tuffle people?
Part of me did it for the fun. The other part wanted to know what it felt like to be you, Goku.
Kick his ass. Eventually, it looks like Goku is going to lose. He has almost completely used up his energy, and Baby has been fed with as many Blutz waves as Bulma's machine can dish out. Her grandpa's life is in danger. The whole universe is going to end if she doesn't do anything. The need to help becomes so incredibly strong within Pan that she doesn't become a Super Saiyan.
That's true, but she certainly has the heart of a Super Saiyan.
Huh. Oh, but there is some Deus Ex Majub, though. During this time, Kibito Kai has collected the sacred water from Kami's place and has begun to cure all the possessed people, including Goku's friends and family. Using the same technique that powered up Baby and gave him the Revenge Death Ball, everybody transfers their energy into Goku for one final assault. He kicks Baby's ass so hard that he, somehow, reverts back to normal and proceeds to flee Vegeta's body.
Baby! You coward! Get back here right now!
And so our brave hero completely eradicates Baby as he flees for his life. It's good to see that Goku no longer cares about bestowing mercy upon his enemies. I mean, how often has that strategy worked out? So now the world is safe once again. Except for all those other people in the universe that Baby probably left his seed inside of, including Kibito Kai by the look of it. Hello? Are you in there? Sadly, our heroes can't celebrate for long as the entire Earth is about to explode.
It's been almost a year since the Black Star Dragon Balls were used. The Earth is about to blow up.
It's been a whole year? What the fuck? What about the events I mentioned suggested that they took place over an entire year? 1 week would be stretching it as it is. Who wrote this crap? So now we have cameo time as the entire Earth is evacuated to planet Tuffle before the planet explodes. This scene really does showcase the main reason GT fails to live up to its predecessors. In the original Dragon Ball, something like evacuating the planet would be fun and cartoony, with a sense of magic in the air. If this was DBZ, then it would be an awesome thrill ride as everyone fights hard to get off the doomed planet. Here it is dull. As dull as the color palette, and as dull as the background music. We see all these familiar faces and certain funny things happen, but you never feel anything. That's really sad. Almost as sad as this.
Piccolo, it's you! But why are you still here?
Oh no. He isn't, is he? Bob decides that he no longer wants anyone to suffer by his presence. He gives Goku just enough energy to save the last person on the planet, and then rides out the planet's destruction, killing himself after doing almost nothing throughout all of GT. First Boo and now Bob? This show is racking up more pointless deaths than DC! Later on, Porunga is asked to bring the Earth back. Again. And everybody is now getting ready for the who cares what number it is World Martial Arts Tournament. In this one, they brought back the Junior Division. And Goku has been set to fight in it. He eventually loses when Vegeta distracts him and he is pushed out of the ring by this kid.
I guess I had to lose sometime.
And so our saga ends with Goku and Vegeta postponing their inevitable rematch since Goku is hungry for lunch. So now GT would be over, as it was only scheduled for 40 episodes, but...
Two more sagas!
Only 24 episodes to go, people. First is the Android 17 saga, which I despise beyond comparison. If you didn't already know, after being wished back by Shenron that one time, Android 17 had been living his life hunting wild game in the forest and being a peace-loving individual. In this saga, he resurfaces, kills Krillin in front of his wife and daughter, and opens up a gateway to hell with his perfect robot clone designed by both Dr. Mew and Dr. Gero. Goku gets trapped in hell with both Frieza and Cell, at one point riding on top of a Destructo disc and getting temporarily absorbed by Cell, before eventually escaping when Bob himself gets sent down and works with Dende to get Goku out of there, stranding himself in the process. Thanks. Sending Bob to hell is definitely making me feel better about his unnecessary death. All the old enemies, including Nappa, are killed off again by our heroes as the two Android 17s fuse into a perfect android, Super Android 17. This version is easily able to take on Goku, even using some of Android 19's abilities and absorbing Goku's energy attacks. However, Goku is so stupid at this point that even after he figures this out, he still launches energy attacks. Eventually, things get interesting when Android 18 shows up on the scene.
You sicken me! You're half of what you were before!
How do you figure that one, 18? I'm twice as strong now!
Strength is one thing, 17, but character is another!
They should have thought about that when they made this damn show! Dr. Gero and Mew are killed off by 17, and 18 unleashes a flurry of attacks on her cyborg brother. It is here that Goku gets a clue and realizes that 17 can only absorb energy when he takes that specific stance. He summons up all his strength into one punch and... Damn, sucker! You just got King Pickle owned! So now that 17 is gone and everybody is back in hell, it's time for the inevitable wish everybody back to life thing. However, when collecting the Dragon Balls, something doesn't seem right.
Grandpa! Trunks! You're not gonna believe this!
All 7 of the balls are cracked and behaving irregularly, giving everyone a bad feeling about what's going on. So, just to be sure about this, they immediately ask Dende what's going on with them. I'm kidding, they summon the dragon anyway. Although this time it isn't Shenron that gets summoned. Is that dragon smoking? You are a bad influence on our children! This is Black Smoke Shenron, leader of the Shadow Dragons. he uses his power to create 7 evil dragons to spread mayhem and chaos around the world, polluting and destroying the Earth's fragile ecosystem. Just what in the fuck is going on, you may ask? Old Kai explains everything. Whenever a wish is made on a set of Dragon Balls, there is a certain amount of negative energy that accumulates inside of the balls. This energy was supposed to slowly dissipate over 100 years, but thanks to Bulma's Dragon Radar, the balls were used far too often, and they never had time to recover. After a while, the negative energy grew so large that the Dragon Balls cracked, and thus the Shadow Dragons were born.
Okay, where do I start? Alright, for one thing, Old Kai could have just said, "Hey, don't use those balls, because if you use them too much, 7 evil dragons will pop out and murder everybody." Instead, he just says something vague about upsetting the natural balance or some bullshit.
The Dragon Balls? We can't use them to settle our affairs.
Secondly, the Namekians never bothered to tell them this.
There were those that were aware of the dangers of overuse, but no decision was ever made to warn the people of the Earth.
These things have been known to destroy galaxies. I think that's kind of important information. Next, if the Namekians did know about this stuff, then why were they so eager to let the Earthlings use the Namekian Dragon Balls all those times? Because a Black Smoke Porunga would be even more powerful.
Your ass is grass.
Then there is this issue. If the Dragon Balls need 100 years to get rid of all the negative energy, then why do they become active again after only 1 year? Wouldn't it make more sense just to have them wait 100 years before they become active again? Sure, I know they couldn't have possibly predicted the invention of the Dragon Radar. That's fine, but why take the chance?
It's complicated.
And finally, this one being the most head-pounding, if the Dragon Balls are so dangerous, if using them too much can cause these Shadow Dragons to appear, then why did Dende alter them to make them easier to use?
And he didn't look nervous when he did this either. He just casually mentioned that he could make the wishes stronger and allow the dragon to grant 2. And he seemed perfectly fine with the idea of using them so often like that.
In short, this makes no sense, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Where's King Piccolo when you need him? Goku takes it upon himself to track down and destroy all 7 of the dragons in order to purify the balls and restore order to the world once more. He takes along Giro with him, and Pan sticks around for the ride too. Here are the dragons. Haze Shenron, born of the wish to bring Bora back to life. The weakest of the bunch whose special ability is to cause pollution wherever he goes. Rage Shenron, born of the wish to bring Goku back to life in the Saiyan Saga. Able to control an extremely potent electric gel. Oceanus Shenron, born of Wulong's wish for panties, with the ability to manipulate the wind and water. Natron Shenron, born of the wish to revive all of Majin Vegeta's victims, holds the power to create earthquakes and possess the bodies of other creatures. Nova and Ice Shenron, born of the wishes to restore King Piccolo's youth and remove Majin Buu from everyone's memories, respectively, with the power to harness heat and ice, respectively. And finally, Sin Shenron, born of the wish to revive the victims of Frieza and his men, with the special power to be a complete dick cheese.
And then there is Mo, Larry, and Curly Shenron, born of the wishes to revive King Piccolo's victims, revive Cell's victims, and remove the androids as bombs. But they don't make an appearance.
Everything up until Sin Shenron's appearance is handled in just 10 episodes, with Goku essentially defeating each dragon in sequence one after the other with nothing to break up the monotony.
I never thought I'd say this, but this show needs some filler.
Oh hey, Goku was humming the original Dragon Ball theme just then. That's cute. Whoa, that's the GT theme, Old Kai. Not cool. Anyway, perhaps I spoke too soon on the filler thing. Technically, there is an episode where Vegeta stands around thinking of his experience with Goku for the entire episode. That's right, a clip show. A we're too lazy for writing clip show. Even the Garlic Jr. saga wasn't this bad. We do learn that Bulma has been researching Blutz waves ever since the baby incident, and she thinks she might even be able to give Vegeta the ability to become a Super Saiyan 4 himself. The only reason Baby didn't become one before is because only a full-blooded Saiyan could reach this form.
Now we just need to get the conditions right for you. After that, you might even reach Super Saiyan 5.
And thus God proclaimeth, 1,000 years of fan fiction were born.
Goku beats all the evil dragons, purifying the balls in the process, until he comes across Nova Shenron, who, since he was born from a selfish wish, is actually a respectable and compassionate person. Dick powers, activate!
It's a pitiful dragon that gives allowances to a monkey.
Since Goku had been blinded by Ice Shenron not too long ago, we have a pretty tense fight scene as our hero has to deal with only being able to use 4 of his senses. That is until the cavalry arrives and gives our hero all the power he needs to give his ass a whooping. Until he eats the Dragon Balls and becomes the all-powerful Omega Shenron.
Negative energy.
Now Omega has the upper hand until Goku regains his sight, somehow, and releases the incredibly awesome-looking Dragon Fist technique. This sucker also got King Piccolo, but not really. Sadly, this doesn't work out. So it's Vegeta and Bulma to the rescue with the Blutz Wave Amplifier. And now, prepare yourself for the might that is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Yeah, this still doesn't work. The only option left is fusion. So Vegeta reluctantly agrees to the dance, and we get Gogeta, the most powerful hero in all of Dragon Ball.
Big Bang Kamehameha!
Why do I get the feeling that every DBZ fanboy just splooged in unison? Gogeta is so powerful that he is able to knock around Omega as if he were a ragdoll, eventually resulting in this famous scene where Omega uses his most deadly technique, the negative karma ball, in an attempt to stop Gogeta. Instead, Gogeta kicks the ball away and uses it to somehow purify the Earth's atmosphere.
You're despicable. Are you saying that you changed the karma ball into positive energy and used my own weapon to destroy the negative energy? Negative energy, negative energy.
Damn it, it always glitches up at this part. Eventually, Gogeta manages to blast all of the stolen balls out of Omega's body and revert him to his original form, and revert himself to the original form while he's at it. Yeah, apparently since they use up such a huge amount of energy in Super Saiyan 4 form, the fusion only lasts about 15 minutes instead of a half hour. Omega begins to reabsorb all the balls, but Goku snatches up the 4-star just in time for the stupidest thing that's happened so far.
Ow! What the heck?
Can he do that?
You know what? Fuck y'all! I don't give a shit anymore! I don't care about Panther's invasion, I don't care about finishing this damned look back. I just don't give a shit about anything. Do you know how long it's been since I've seen a movie? Like an honest-to-God movie in the theaters? So, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go see a movie right now. Go to hell! Hey everyone! Be quiet! I'm trying to talk to my mother! Okay, never mind. They try to fuse a few more times, but they both run out of energy before they can do it. And then this shit happens.
Yes! Just as Goku made his fiery declaration, the 4-star Dragon Ball appeared on his forehead.
Which is stupid and I really don't care about it. Eventually, the only chance the universe has is if everyone gives a portion of their energy into a universal spirit bomb. We got a lot of cameos here as well, but they are mostly from GT, so they aren't worth mentioning. Hey, is that kid still in hospital? Because if I'm to believe this correctly, it's been about 2 years since he was found injured. Anyway, big boom boom ball hits the bad man and everything is happy. Yay! And that was GT! What a load of complete... Whoa! He wasn't summoned just now. What's going on? During the last episode of GT, Shenron reiterates to Goku and the others that the balls are not meant to be used so frequently. It is here that he offers the hero Goku to have one final request before he disappears for a very long time. Goku asks him to restore the life of everyone who died since the arrival of Super 17, as the Earth never had a chance to recover before Goku's mistakes wreaked havoc. Shenron grants this final wish, and offers to take Goku with him. The pair head by several of the old characters. I see Yamcha's back in the desert again. Figures. Eventually culminating in Krillin, who has been feeling old and worn out recently, so Goku challenges him to a friendly sparring match. But Krillin ultimately wins. As Goku's footprints are washed away in the sand, Goku visits one last person, Piccolo, who has become the defender of Hell. He promises his old friend that he will help him to get out of there someday. Then our hero, who we have known for so long, flies into the stars with Shenron.
You know, Shenron, I've never been this tired.
Then Shenron and the Monkey Boy disappear into legend, leaving the planet Earth with over 100 years of peace. And if you thought that was a great way to end it, they go even further. 2 generations into the future, 2 boys are competing in the World Martial Arts Tournament. These boys are Goku and Vegeta Jr., the descendants of those great rivals from so long ago. In the audience is Pan, and sitting next to her is Vegeta Jr.'s mother. We see that Mr. Satan has risen to legend as the long-running champion of the tournament, but there is another statue over there. One of Goku, the man who saved the world countless times. He has risen into a legend that many idolize, and the fight between his descendant and Vegeta Jr. is of particular interest to the audience. Pan eventually spots a familiar-looking face in the crowd, missing the result of the tournament as she rushes off to get a better look. But she is too late. Goku will forever live on in the hearts of his family, and if any foe would dare threaten the Earth, there is one man who will be there to stop them.
Till we meet again, guys!
I mean it with absolute sincerity that the ending of GT makes it completely worth it. I will be the first to admit that the ending of Dragon Ball Z left a lot to be desired. It essentially finished the series with our hero of many years flying off into the sunset with a kid we didn't know or care about. As an ending to this epic tale, it was a bit of a letdown. GT makes up for this by giving Goku the best damn send-off they could create. The shitty music, the lazy animation, all of it melts away as a wave of nostalgia and glee washes over the audience, finishing the epic of Goku in the most satisfying way possible. And that doesn't mean GT isn't bad. It is certainly frustrating and badly written at points. But I do feel that the ending makes up for it tenfold. Apparently, the DVD box set of GT replaces the shitty soundtrack with the original Japanese music, so I would recommend that version first if you can find it. On that note, the Blue Water dub also has better music, but the voice acting is far worse.
I did what any other Earth-loving person would do if they were in my shoes.
Only one more episode to go. I'm gonna go make myself a nice latte. How close are we? It's hard to say, sir. There was a massive energy spike just before those cops ambushed us. Ever since then, the energy reading has been larger and harder to focus. He should be somewhere in this neighborhood though, sir. Energy readings like that suggest he's close to breaking. We have to hurry. How do we do it, sir? Sweep the area. Eliminate every man, woman, and child in the vicinity. Move it! Oh dear, that sounds serious. Will Chadwick Jones be able to survive this onslaught of fear? Find out in the next installment of the Dragon Ball Look Back. Next time on said Dragon Ball Look Back, Chadwick will see the various movies, videos, and specials produced in the Dragon Ball franchise.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I had a really bad night last night. Who the fuck is this?
I'm the new narrator.
New? You mean you guys canned me?
Listen, Jerry, you were becoming too unreliable. Didn't you hear the message I left on your voicemail?
You can't do this to me! My wife left me last night, man. This job is all I have.
If it's any consolation...
Shut up, you! You walk in here with your David Attenborough voice thinking you're so high and mighty. Go suck a dick!
Hey, let's not get personal here. This is just a simple misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding? Coming in to find my job gone is a misunderstanding. Well, is this also a misunderstanding?
Holy shit! Jerry, put the gun down. We can work something out.
Oh, so now that I have a weapon, you are willing to talk. Well, okay, Mike. Let's talk.
I'm getting the hell out of here.
Don't you leave! Stop!
You killed him. You son of a bitch, you killed him!
He was running away. He was running away from me.
This man was married with 3 kids. You just shot him. In cold blood.
This changes nothing. We are still going to talk.
About what, Jerry? You want me to give you your job back now that you've created a vacancy?
No.
Hey everybody, you know the old narrator that got fired for showing up to work drunk? Well, he pulled out a magnum, shot the new guy, and held me at gunpoint. So he's now a part of the team again.
You shut your damned mouth!
You cowardly shit. You probably don't even have the guts to pull that trigger. Well, come on! If you're gonna shoot me, shoot me!
On the Dragon Ball Look Back.